Now, let's move on. Let's discuss something that happened a little while ago. We probably should have talked about it on a podcast sooner, but you know what? There wasn't enough news surrounding. So fair enough. But Amari Cooper has signed a new contract. It's a restructured contract, giving him some more money. Essentially making it so that way, he's going to get paid this year, and essentially buying him back onto the team for the start of camp. Derek, what are your thoughts on the Amari Cooper restructure, and with that, giving him more money up front as well?
Yeah, okay. Bear with me. I'm going to try to read this out the best I can because it's complicated, but this is what it is. $18.79 million signing bonus, $20 million total guaranteed, converted part of the base salary to a bonus, added 2 voidable years. Essentially, what all that means is Amari Cooper is getting an extra $5 million this year. This is not an extension. Okay, so my thoughts. I still believe, and I believe back when we talked about this the first time, I would not give Amari Cooper more than a 2-year contract extension, including this season. So I would give him another year, 2 years maximum. And the reason for that is Amari Cooper is 30 years old, and he has been unreal for this team. He's been fantastic. I think highly, highly, highly overlooked as far as what he's done for the Browns the last 2-3 years he's been in Cleveland. However, the reality of the situation is the Browns do need to get younger at wide receiver. They have made it clear that that is on the agenda as far as the roster building side of this team. And as great as Amari Cooper is, we have seen receiver after receiver after receiver just nosedive once you get to that 30-year-old mark. DeAndre Hopkins is playing, I would say, pretty well still. I think he's playing at a high level still, but he's certainly not prime D-Hop. Julio Jones had an unreal fall off, which is sad, but he's, his legacy's cemented. But there are guys that, for whatever reason, you get to a certain age and the fall off just hits. I'm not saying that I think Amari Cooper is at that point or, we should expect that, but the history of the wide receiver position and the data that we've been shown, you need to plan for that, and it's better to be safe than sorry. So for the Browns not extending Amari Cooper, I'm not necessarily mad at that. I think that is a smart financial decision as far as long-term goes. Obviously, we'll get into wide receiver discussions regarding somebody else here in a second, but I think as far as Amari Cooper goes, I want him on this team. I think he's an incredibly valued member of this team. I think we need him, or at least we need a Amari Cooper type if we're going to have a successful offense. I think the impact that he has is, you can't overstate it. He's been consistent. He's been very good for the Browns. And I understand why he did this, right? He essentially wanted to guarantee that he's going to make money in case he gets hurt. And, $20 million total in guarantees. Hey, congratulations, pal. There you go. But all in all, at least for the moment right now, Amari Cooper is a Cleveland Brown. And he is going to play out this season. And assuming he is on the Browns this season, we will reevaluate at the end of the season next year, or this upcoming season at the end of the season. What does all that mean? I'll dive into that more when we talk about the other guy. But as far as Amari Cooper goes, he is back. I say that without complete confidence, but he's back on the team for now. And everything, if it remains the same, will play this year as a Cleveland Brown. I'm happy about that. So that is what it is there. Tristan, Amari Cooper restructured. The Browns chose not to extend him. essentially $25 million, 20 guaranteed. Void years, all sort of financial cap guru stuff that I am not equipped to explain to you. But yeah, long story short, Amari Cooper's back. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Listen, this is a guy that has been so crucial to this team ever since he's arrived. He has played that number one wide receiver spot, and to my knowledge, has never really let us down. He's been reliable, dependable. He's always showed up and played his heart out for us. And quite frankly, Mari Cooper has the type of personality and work ethic that you just love. You gravitate towards it. Similar to Nick Chubb, like they're not very outspoken guys, but you trust them to get their job done. And to lead by example and to want it more than the guy that they're lined up against and the guy they're matched up against. That's what you get with guys like Amari Cooper and Nick Chubb, and that's why we love them as much as we do. I'm happy that we got Amari Cooper locked in for this year, and I'm happy that we don't have to worry about these unnecessary stories going into camp that plague this team. Like it got done and over with. Like we're done with it now. Like that's not a source of drama. It's not a source of negativity for this team. And I like that because this is a team that needs everybody on board this year because it's gonna be a hell of a battle this year. Not a lot of gimme games, really. Every single game, especially in the second half of the season, pretty much are tough games, really tough games. You're not going to be handed anything this year, and you're going to need everybody going in the right direction. So I felt it was very important to get Amari Cooper locked down for this year and committed to this year. Now, and I guess I will pivot to this more when we go into our next topic, but I do feel like Amari Cooper doesn't get enough respect, especially from Cleveland Browns fans. We already know the outside NFL doesn't really respect him a whole lot, at least not enough, in my opinion. For me, he's a slam dunk top 10 wide receiver, but there are some people that say that he's no better than the guy that we're linked to, and that the guy that we're linked to is a lot better than him, and I just disagree. And I guess, I guess we kind of got into a point with this where we might as well transition into it.